Okay, the recording for the Special Project Standing Building Committee, 5:15, Monday, June 27th, 2022, has begun.
Okay, first item on the agenda is calling to order, and that's been accomplished. Second item is to review the minutes from the last meeting of May 23rd. I cannot say anything because I wasn't present. Only those that were present can make comments on that. So if there's any comments, kindly speak up.
I'll make
All right. No corrections, no adjustment to the minutes. So make a recommendation to approve the minutes as they have been reported. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion's carried. Next item is to hear an update on projects from both Sal Morabito and Joe Foley. So, Sal, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here, Rich. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Sal.
Good evening. So, we had been working with Silktown since they got their contract. Materials have been delivered to site. The insulation, if you go by, you'll see large stacks of insulation around the building, various points. We did have a challenge at one point because we were not getting concise delivery schedules for our roof curb extension pieces. So it was, we had many conversations about whether we would have to turn this into a 2-year project or not because of that. At this point, things have aligned. We got a good delivery schedule for the curb extensions, and we're proceeding with a schedule for being complete before school, or substantially complete before school. This past week, we were working with Silktown on some of the lower roofs around the building, over on what I'll call the south wing, the wing that faces the field in the back, the bus loop. There are some lower roofs that join the building right under a window line. So we have a difficult dimension to meet for flashing height there. Ken, the architect, Ken Lindsley, has issued for some sketches to solve that problem with Silktown. A couple of the thoughts that we had on that was, one, switching to a smaller pitch, a 1/8 inch pitch compared to a 1/4 inch pitch that is presently designed, and using a single membrane roof in those areas. The other solution is to add drains closer to the window so that we have the low point closer to the window than we do now. So we're in the middle of evaluating those.
Sally, would it be one item 1, 2, or 3, or possibly some combination of those 3 things?
It would be one or the other. I don't think that we would necessarily go into a combination. It depends on the cost, truthfully. So in the ed spec, we ask for, when I say we, the board, Fairfield Public Schools Board of Education, our ed spec does say that we want a multi-ply, cold-applied roof. So what we're doing, I had spoken to Rich Special about this, is the board is meeting tomorrow night I put in for an ed spec revision that would allow single membrane if we decide to go that way. So they're going to have a first read on that tomorrow. We ran into a similar situation about our roofing materials on the Mill Hill project. It's more of a technical issue as to what we really want, and our first preference is always a multi-plied roof. With single-plied roofs, we would ask for a longer warranty to kind of make up for not getting what we want exactly. So anyway, I'll go to the meeting tomorrow night and go through the first read of that. And we're just waiting on Silktown to get back to us with some numbers about adding drains and things like that. So everything's starting correctly.
Okay, is that farther down in the schedule when they were planning on doing those lower roofs? Like, will this affect the schedule? Is what I'm asking.
No, it wouldn't affect the schedule at this point. Those are roofs that we're doing later on. Right now, they're starting on, and Ken can correct me, I think it's roof G, which is near the gym or above the auxiliary gym. So they would be going from there to the gym roof and then jump up on the higher roof in that area and work their way around the building from the gymnasium end of the building and wrapping around going to the auditorium end of the building. The rooftop units starting July 11th is when the mechanical contractor is scheduled to come in to start disconnecting the rooftop units. He has a couple of weeks worth of work doing that. And then the crane will come in and they'll start lifting units, putting on curb extensions, resetting the unit, reconnecting the unit. So it's a normal it's a normal symphony. It's one step after the other. Just got to plan it out and make sure that we're not losing too much time to rain, like we basically lost a good portion of today to rain. And that's it. No surprises so far. No terrible difficulties so far. Couple of surprises, but no terrible difficulties.
Yeah, and also,
Ken,
Sal, may I add too, this is Ken. We plan to meet tomorrow at the site to review these things with the contractor as well.
Okay. All right. That's, anything else that you had to add, Ken?
No.
No? Okay. All right. I think if that's it, I don't. Gerald, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. You have nothing further to add in that regard, do you?
Nope, nothing further to add.
Okay, then let's move on to the next item, which would be the invoices that we have received. And the first one that I have here, I believe everybody's gotten copies of these, is Silver Petrostelli's invoice number 22-0840.
640.
640, okay. 22-0640, and the amount off here is $3,115. And this is for construction administration work. I recommend the invoice be approved. Do we have a second on this?
Can I ask, is this is in lieu of the one we disapproved last month? Or not disapproved, but said we couldn't approve in its form?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I'll second. Rod seconds.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. The next item is a rather large application number 2. Gotta turn this light on. Excuse me, folks. It's a little too dark where I'm sitting here. All right. And this is Sal and Gerald. This is a rather large invoice, and that I would assume that this has been reviewed and checked. Contains a lot of materials because the amount is $1,112,145.25 as the current payment. It's quite a lot of money, and I suspect that it is mostly materials. Is that accurate?
Yeah, this is Gerald Foley. Yes, I would say yes, that's true. There's a lot. There's a large portion of it is materials.
Yes, this is Ken again with Silver Petroselli. Yes, we reviewed this thoroughly, and again, we agree that it's all material or mostly materials.
Okay.
Are those materials are all of them on site?
I'm sorry?
Are all the materials on site?
Yes, all the polyiso installations and roof membranes are delivered or are being delivered, but yes.
And there's some sheet metal materials and some carpentry materials also. They're all on site?
What was that last part? I'm sorry.
There's sheet metal materials and carpentry materials shown in the requisition. They're on site also?
Yes, they need to.
Jen, Al Kelly is on.
Hi, Al. Thank you.
I'm sorry, yes, the carpentry materials are needed for the installation of the polyiso and as well as the metal components. So, yes.
Okay.
All right. Anything further, Sal?
Sal, one other quick question from the prior meeting. The certificate of insurance, has that been updated now?
Yes, it's Gerald Foley. Yes, it has.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, that was one of my questions I was going to do under old business because we were supposed to get it and be informed of that. So, and the other thing while we're on that insurance was that the application that we received was not signed by Silver Petroselli, application number 1.
So I got it updated and I had it signed.
Okay.
All right. So going back to application number 2, we're recommending that it be approved. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Sounds like everybody. All right. Motion carried. That's all the invoices that I have. Is there anything that can be added to that, or are we done with that, Gerald?
Yeah, I have no other invoices, Rich.
Okay. All right. Moving on to item number 5 on the agenda, it's new business. Anybody have anything to say in regard to?
I think we already covered. I think I touched on that. New businesses. I would be going to the Board of Ed tomorrow night on a first read for an ed spec change, just allowing for a single membrane roof if needed, if we ended up at that point.
Will there be any need for a special meeting or anything like that based on the outcome of that?
I don't think the timing would hang on a second. Let me see.
The reason why I'm asking
the schedule for the...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to check the schedule. So let me ask you. Let me ask this question: What is the authorization for I'm not sure that we have a standing rule. Would you be allowed to? Would you, as the chair, or the chair and the vice chair, be able to sign off change orders up to a certain dollar amount? That's the only reason that I would think that we would need a special meeting.
Yeah. I could take a look. It used to be 15,000 as a automatic.
Yeah, that's what I recall.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's been changed. I don't think so. I've never been notified of a change. But I'd surely like to check with administration to see if they want to continue that policy in light of, the lawsuits and stuff that they're
but that would be the only thing we would, come together and say, here's the change order, and a very short agenda item.
No,
hey, may I just real quick? Can't the committee give Rich a very specific, not to exceed $15,000 for the item in question, and give it very specifically, saying if it's over that, he's got to bring it back to the committee for review? Can't we do that?
I think that's happened in history, and you might want to reiterate it. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
I know we've done that. I know we've done that for expedience sake. But do you see this being something that needs to be done quickly? I mean, or should we just give? I mean, I don't have any problem. We all trust our chairman, so. I mean, really.
I think it would be. I think it would be it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Normally,
everybody's agreeable.
I know we've done that in the past, and I know I've done that in other committees in the past.
Yeah, I know we did it, but I don't know if we did it project by project, set up that rule. So I don't think it would hurt anything to do it specifically for this project.
Yeah, right. This project, this item, it wasn't a full blanket thing. I never had that kind of authorization.
Very good.
Do we want to make a motion? Can you specifically call out what you're going to need the request for, and then we'll make the motion, and then we can contingent on maybe Rich's conversation with the administration. But I don't.
It's usually and just to add more context on the Mill Hill project, the chairman carried a $25,000 authorization. And that was just a motion that they made. But as Rich said, I think it used to be in special projects $15,000, and what it would be is authorizing the chairman to act on the behalf of the committee on change orders up to not to exceed $15,000.
Yeah, but that would be a global one. I'm thinking, what is specifically we're going for this change order for? And we'll make a motion for that.
So that would be change orders for the ones that I'm thinking of is change orders for additional roof drains and or roof membrane modifications.
Would anyone else like to weigh in? That sounds okay with me. Because it's going to be summer and it's going to be, more vacations and more issues. So I'm not, and I think it's a total of not to exceed. Meaning, if the roof drains are $1,000 a piece to put new and extra ones in, then those would be minus, and then it would be whatever the membrane issue is. And if we have to have a meeting, we have to have a meeting.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. No, I understand. It's
All right. So I'll make a motion that states the Special Project Standing Building Committee gives the chairman of the committee or the vice chair the ability to approve change orders for the potential additional roof drains or changing of roof drains and additional membrane work of a dollar amount not to exceed $15,000 for all items. That would be the motion. And I know I spoke fast. I'm sorry, Ken. What do you think? Go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say it's fine, but I wonder if you should just historically the way it was is that there was $15,000 allowance to expedite for whatever came along. It wasn't specific to any particular roof drain or something like that. So that
right. I mean, we do have an allowance for. Well, it's an allowance, so that's a different animal. But you know, right. we might run into, because we're doing a roof insulation salvage, and then going over more insulation. We might find an area of wet insulation that has to be changed, and it's documented. We need X number of straight boards and X number of square feet of tapered board.
Right. All right. I mean, I think it's perfectly adequate. We can make it for. It's all roof work anyway. I mean,
Right.
And this way, if we have that type of thing out there, I think it'll help everything go a little more smoothly. But also, we want to have Sal. I don't think those are set prices we have from our contractor. Are they built into the contract? Like X amount of dollars for this, X amount of dollars per square foot of board, X amount of dollars per roof. And I think it has to be
unit prices. We don't have specific unit prices for that, but we do.
So we can't.
We kind of do, because we have line items that we can back into square footage numbers to check on.
So I agree. Okay. So I'm just saying that before the number is presented to the chairman, it would need to be negotiated by
Correct.
you.
It'd be vetted out. It would be vetted.
Yeah, vetted out. Okay. And we could put that in the motion as well and make it roll. As long as we're not going to exceed our budget, it's got to be done.
Yep.
So how would the motion read that? And I hate to put Jen on the spot. If it's a little bit more global, we have to change a couple of words and then have Jen read back the motion.
I mean, just to make it more general, it would be, allow the chair and/or the vice chair to act on change orders deemed to be time critical, up to a dollar amount of $15,000. Or
okay, I mean, that's fun.
I mean, if we have the time to bring it to the committee, we have the time to bring it to the committee. But like you said, people are on vacation. It's hard to grab a quorum. And
it may be. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I agree with that totally.
All right. So, Jennifer, can you read that back as you have it?
I'm going to read what Sal wrote, so I hope this is correct. Mr. Kelly made a motion for the Special Projects Standing Building Committee to give the chair or vice chair of the committee authorization to act on change orders deemed to be time critical of up to $15,000.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's it.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
All right, so I make a recommendation that the committee approve the change order and recommendation.
Yeah. I second it.
Well, yeah, I think Al made a motion, and then we second it, and then we vote.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I didn't catch who seconded it. I know Al made the motion.
Rich,
Who seconded it? Oh,
Rich.
he can
Rich
do
seconded.
that, even though maybe someone else should.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, because it's money. Sure.
Maybe Rodney?
Rodney, sure. Maybe. How about...
That way it's not the chair or vice chair, allowing themselves to sign off on something. So thank you, Rodney.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for your details.
Dr. Rich.
Okay, so everybody's voted on it. It seems like everybody's approved it, so the motion is carried. And thanks to Jennifer's devious mind.
Oh, thanks, Rich.
All right. Anything else?
I have something. I don't know where it goes. Whether new business. I think it's probably new business. Gerald, I wanted to thank you for the spreadsheet. I do have one question about it, though. Are you there?
I'm here, Miss Lang.
Okay. I looking through the Silver Petroselli parts of it.
Yes.
It calls for construction administration services and bidding services related to Sherman, but I don't see design services for Sherman. Like you have design, engineering, construction documents, etc. for McKinley, and then you have phase 2 construction administration services and project closeout. But I don't see anything for the design at Sherman, which I thought was part of that.
Jane, this is Sal.
Yeah.
The Board of Ed has a design. I believe design services were picked up off of an operating account on the Board of Ed.
Okay. So that was intentional. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. So we're trying, because you had a concern about mixing apples and oranges. So
yes, I did.
Yeah. So I think that's. So yeah, when the design's done, I get to sign off on it, not you.
Okay.
And then when they get to bidding time, that's when the invoices would be coming against that portion.
So that comes from Board of Ed.
The line for design services on Sherman is a Board of Ed PO. The other one for bidding services and CA for Sherman is a bond PO. It's just the accounts that they come out of.
Right. So, but it's coming out of this project budget, correct?
Bidding and
construction administration.
Administration comes out of the bond that you're administrating. Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure everything.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm trying to. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank
you. No problem.
I know I'm being a pain. I just want to make sure I understand everything. So this is great.
No, that's good, Jane. That's not being a pain.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. And Jennifer, can I make a request that if it's at all possible that I could either pick up or you could mail me this, because I can't get my printer to print anything that's not 8.5 by 11. It's a very simple printer.
Of course, but what is it you want mailed?
This project, roof replacement, this budget, project accounting, that Gerald, that just that one page.
The one he mailed? Okay.
Yeah, just because it's an 8.5 by 14 and I can't make my
no problem.
I tried and I got pissed off.
Got it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. All right, that was new business. We'll go on to old business. I don't think there's any old business, but.
I do have one of those too. Sorry. The purchase order for town still says it's off by $1,000. It says $28.25.
Right. So this is Gerald Foley. So when I prepared the budget today, I noticed that on the sheet I was trying to compare the pricing for Silktown versus the PO, and so with Sal's assistance, we determined that what happened was, if you look at the Silktown, the change orders, what we did is inadvertently we overstated one of the change orders. So the town had accepted a deduct of $98,500 for not raising 5 rooftop units. So with Sal's assistance, we made a determination that should have been $97,500. So we overstated that by $1,000. So I didn't want to send out a third or fourth revision to this. So for your next meeting, I'll correct that and then send out an amended PO that will match Silktown's number.
Okay. Wait, but you said that, it says, accept deduct of 98.8.
Yeah, well, right.
So it should have been
That's
97.8?
Yeah, no, there's a typo. There's a couple typos. So if you go to the box that has a description, it'll be to the left of the numbers. You'll see I typed. It's very small, hard to read. So I printed it out 11 by 17. So I'm going to give that copy to transmit to you, Jane. But in the description box, I have it typed, and we took a deduct of $98,500. So when I typed it in the change order and the total, I typoed the first box and copied it into the second box. I typed in 98,800, so I made like a double error there. So it should be in that box, it should be 98.5, but that's incorrect. The correct number, which should have been taken on the PO, was $97,500 for not raising the 5 RT rooftop units, if that makes sense.
But that's not $1,000. 97.
No, yeah, 97,500. It would be exactly $1,000. So I have it 98. No, that's what I'm saying. I made a mistake there. That's what I'm saying. So to the left is the correct number. The PO reflected $98,500. So when I type the numbers to the right, those are wrong. That's a typo there. It should. If I did it to match the box on the left, I would have typed 98,500, but I didn't. I typed the wrong number.
We're working Gerald too hard. He's blurring when he's typing.
Yeah. All right, I'm confused on the numbers, but as long as it gets revised for next time.
It'll be revised for the next meeting, but the correct number is, it should have been 97,500. But on the PO, when we took the deduction, we took an extra 1,000, and we took a deduction of 98,500 as opposed to 97,500. Which was the correct number.
But it says 98,000.
No, I'm saying that's the typo. See, that's what I'm saying. The box in the center with the red, that's a typo. So to the left was the correct number, which is the PO was based on. So I'm saying so I didn't want to. I know after Sal and I talked about it, and I'd already sent out this spreadsheet, and then I was going to send another one out, but I said no. I keep sending more stuff, last minute, and so I didn't think that would be fair to send you yet another revision. So I figured it better to talk it through, and then for your next meeting, the numbers will be correct.
So the 98.5 is correct, or 97? You use 98.5.
It's supposed to be 97.5
is the correct number.
That's the correct number. But when we did the deductions on the PO, we deducted 98.5.
Got it. And then right, the 98.8 is just
that's just a typo. So when I type the numbers that you see to the right, those were so again I should have proofread my own numbers, but I just didn't have time. So I noticed it later in the day, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to send out yet another one. I think I noticed it like 3:00ish when I printed them out.
It's like a double snow day. It's a double typo.
Yeah.
You made a mistake about the mistake.
Yeah. So the first, the number that's in the description box, that's the number that we took the deduction off of. So to Jane's question,
that's what resulted in the 2,825.
That's right. That's where the $1,000 comes. So, but to compound it, when I typed in the number, I didn't even type 98.5. I typed 98.8. So 98,800. So the number, in essence, now I made it $1,300 discrepancy, as opposed to just 1,000.
Okay, and then the actual PO itself is the.
So it should be. So the correct amount for the purchase order should be $1,000 more than what's reflected. So it should be $2,826,200 is the correct number.
Right. So there will be a revised PO. Is that how that works?
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do below where the change order number is, I'm going to add another line, and then I'll put an explanation. It'll be like change order 1A, because it's really not their change order, it's our change order.
Right.
And then I'll reflect the difference, that $1,000 difference, and I'll add that amount to the purchase order.
Okay. Thank you.
So when you get the corrected PO, it'll match the Silktown Roofing's number. But it'll be internal, I guess we could send it out to them so that we're all on the same page. But their number was correct, ours
really
wasn't.
Just the town accounting, I guess.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think that finishes everything.
So is it time to make a motion to adjourn?
I
think it is.
It is.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor, aye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.